I mean, as soon as we come back, and another.
You know what? Forget the break.
Well.
Forget the break. Bring in the caller, because it just came back to me what I was going to say, I think. So bring in the caller.
So you want it? Okay, caller 636. You are live on Civil Alert. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
Islam, this is Brother Hakil, calling from
Islam, brother.
Islam. I wanted to see if I could spark something in the Sister Yaffa Bay. She deals with a lot of etymology in regards to words. I've been following her for quite some time. And I would like for her to give us a rundown on a couple of things. One being what a Christian really is. Another, what is a hospital? And where did it come about? Because a lot of things that we're dealing with, we never dealt with as ancient people in the past. And we find ourselves dealing with these things today, thinking that this is what we're supposed to do. Like the hospital, for example. Okay, how did that come about? How did that start?
The hospital is from the word hostess, which is hostile, a military, army, militia. It's about taking someone that is not you, being in someone else's house that's not yours, and bringing in that which is not yours to damage it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it comes from, that is posted on my website at yaffabay.com under, I think it's called Institutions of Death or something like that. Hospitals and schools are there to destroy you. I break that word down, how hospital is a xenodochium, or a place of foreigners, a place from foreigners that are inquilins or are lodged in someone else's nest and doing damage from this thing called a hospital or a hospittle, which is hostile piddle, you know, which is, you know, the army or militia or military on the hostile, and the piddle going to the pater or the fathers. And remember, the Pope of Rome is the so-called Holy Father of earth, the Heavenly Father of earth, as the vicar of Jesus Christ. And as far as Christian, that is the same as the French word, the French word crétin or Christianos. It means Cretan. Now, when you look up under Christian, you will never see Cretan, but when you look up under Cretan, spelled Cretin, you will find Christian, and it means a stupid idiot that's ignorant and does not know.
Okay. Now, this word gymnasium, because, you know, a lot of us watch a lot of sports and, you know, a lot of locker room talk and things of this nature there, and I found it quite fascinating, you know.
Not being naked.
Yeah.
That's the place where the Greek gymnasium was meant to be naked. It's a place where a bunch of grown, naked Greek, and the word Greek comes from the word graikos, or gray, which means bleached out, pale, or white in color. And a lot of the adult men would go to these gymnasiums where younger boys would be, and they would all be naked. And they would, because they are a pederastic culture by nature, they would pursue these young boys at the gymnasium. You know, they see all the endowment or what they did or didn't have, because they don't really like women. They've always been anti-women. They don't like their own women. They don't like our women, and they don't like brothers, because brothers, at least used to, like women. And, you know, the brothers have all the endowments, and they like those too, so they got to turn the brothers against the women to get to the endowments that the brothers have. But the gymnasium is where they would go to pursue and attempt to start courting the young boy that they were interested in. And they would compete for the affection of the boy, and it was so bad that what they would do, and this is normal in their culture. That's why in most so-called civilized countries, except this one, it's legal to have sex with children of any age, including birth, okay? One of the things they would do is, competing to get the boy's affection, they had to also pursue the parents of the boy. And one of the things they would do is they would court the family. They would give them money. They would give them gifts to try to prove, I am the best man to mentor your child. The word mentor basically means to rape and tear the man. You know what I'm saying? So they would take these young boys, whoever had the most influence or the most power or the most wealth as an adult pale male, to actually persuade the family and parents who were usually very poor or maybe not so poor, but, maybe there are certain things they need from you, like connections to the king or connections to the church or whatever the case may be, land or wealth or whatever. That whole pedagogy, tutor the boy thing, once they convinced the parents that they were the best suitor and male lover to train and show and raise up your young boy, that is the man that got the child. And they would compete with one another. And the gymnasium is the place that they would go and all be naked to pick the boys. If they started getting drunk there, well, it was really a problem at that point. I mean, that's their culture.
Okay. I got one more question. And my intent is to get you in the spirit that you're in now. And this question that I have, could you explain the vowels, A, E, I, O, and U, in regards to the connection, the German connection? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't recall the acronym off the top of my head. It's on my website at yaffabay.com under an article called The Spell That Cursed My People. But I do remember that the vowels A, E, I, O, U are an acronym in German, and it's about how Austria, which is, the major head of Germany, is to rule the whole world. And that's laid out in German in that acronym, and it's posted at yaffabay.com, which is Y-A-F like Frank, F like Frank A, B like boy, E-Y, yaffabay.com, under an article called The Spell That Cursed My People.
Yeah, I know. I printed out a couple of copies and given them to a couple of friends of mine, so they could start looking at things from a different perspective, because we deal with a lot of things that we don't even know the origin of them. And
exactly.
And just like the English language, as you had brought out, in regards to the Germans taking some and just throwing it up on the wall, and whatever came off is what they gave us. Because a lot of people say things out of their mouth in regards to communicating and don't know what they're saying to each other.
Unfortunately, I had an aunt that reached out to me this morning. I happened to see my phone, and I picked it up for something. I called the brother back, and the brother was like, wow, he had texted me, and he found, and it's at Etymology Dictionary Online, that the word wife means bitch. And I'm like, dang, I never knew that. I haven't seen that one. The last time I checked, the word wife meant queen and woman, but I've never seen anything about it meaning bitch. I could see that with my own eyes. So he texted me the link, which I haven't looked at because, like I said, I really have been refraining from messing with the phone too much because I'm at a point where I don't like talking much anymore. I'm kind of on a recluse mode these days.
That's kind of interesting.
I got tired of talking because I've gotten tired of arguing with people that don't comprehend what I'm trying to say.
Okay. That's kind of interesting in regards to the word bitch, because I have found it to have a cosmological reference in regards to woman, but in regards to astrology, in regards to the dog star.
Yeah, I figured that you were going to go there. I don't usually give people these two people, but you are so ready. And, a lot of the listeners, the sister was saying a lot of her listeners are so new to the subject matter or whatever, it'll probably be above their heads because I was shocked. I'm like, I thought most of your listeners were more aware, awake, and cognizant. But if they're not, these people are going to lose them. So I'm going to give you, because I think you're ready. If you haven't heard about these two, then you should know because of where you are. And I'm just basing it on what we're talking about and how cognizant I can determine you to be.
Okay. Thank you.
There are two people that I would say are astrological scholars that I did not give to my listeners because a lot of our people drag their behinds too much. It's like when I tell you something, you need to move on the information I give you basically when I give it to you. Like I've told my listeners, and if you're a follower, you've heard me say it. Y'all are not the only people listening to me. And while piddling around and pissing around the subject, there are other people moving against you because you're taking too long to move on what I've given you. You know what I mean? Like the terms autochthonous American. There's a European website called, they coined and registered the term original American. After all, my people don't want it, so I guess they feel like, well, hey, if y'all don't want it, we'll take it. And I'm like, we're autochthonous Americans. People keep arguing, we ain't no Americans, we ain't no Americans, we ain't no Americans. Okay, fine. Other people are glad to be what you refuse to be, that you're the only one that could be, since the word means the copper-colored people that were found here, or the copper-colored races, more than one, that were found here when the Europeans showed up. So one site is taken original American and registered that and copywrote that. There's another, somebody sent me something, European dude that wrote an article, and I guarantee you he's probably not the only one, and the article talked about these bleached-out people on the reservation, many of whom are not autochthonous Americans. Some are, most are not. Most of them are just straight-up European, period, at the end of the day. But he wrote an article where he's interchangeably calling them Native American, American Indian, but he also calls them autochthonous Americans. So you got this European over here calling those people autochthonous Americans. They didn't go so far as to say autochthonous American because they really can't have that. And the other people over here talking about original American, they didn't go so far as to say autochthonous American. They dropped autochthonous and made it original American and registered it. They got this other cat. He didn't say autochthonous American. He dropped one of the Americans and says autochthonous American, but he's using that to describe somebody else. Because while my people keep arguing with me about semantics and getting stuck because they don't know what I'm saying, you know, they're losing the whole point. But you're ready. So get a pen, and I'm going to give you two names of people that I want you to check out, because everybody can't follow these two. A lot of people will get lost with these two.
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm going to give you one cat. He's a student of Jordan Maxwell. And I haven't seen or talked to Jordan Maxwell since 1999. He never knew me as Yaffa Bey. He knows me as something else. But his name is Michael Tsarion. Tsar, like Tsar. Arion. Have you heard of him?
No, but I'm familiar with Jordan Maxwell.
Oh, well, this is one of Jordan Maxwell's students that took it to a whole nother level, okay? Then there's another cat who I guess Jordan was kind of a student of his, and Jordan took it to a whole nother level. Now, this cat is not easy to look at, and he's not easy to listen to. He's very monotone, but I'm talking about dropping it, straight up dropping it, and I'm telling you because you're into the astrology. His name is Santos, Santos Bonacci. Santos like Santa, S-A-N like never, T-O-S, Santos Bonacci, B-O-N-A-C-C-I.
B-O-N-A-C-C-I.
Michael has a B like boy, O-N like never, A, C like California, C like California, I like igloo. Santos Bonacci. They will take astrology to a level that the average individual can't even try to keep up.
Okay.
He does an excellent job at paralleling the astrology with the Bible as well.
Huh?
I said he does an excellent job at paralleling the astrological events with the Bible stories.
Who, Santos?
Santos, yes. Santos, yeah, he's on it. He's on point. And he does an excellent expose, too, in regards to the history, in regards to the edicts and the papal bulls. So that's definitely a good resource.
Santos, the whole astrology and relation. Because, see, people have asked me, what about astrology? What do you think about astrology? And I try to tell them astrology is one of the most powerful sciences you're going to ever encounter. You want to know all about you, yourself? Astrology is such a cold science that you can take astrology. Let's say you have to go to court on March the 31st of 2013. Well, we're in January. You can use your astrological will and progress into the future and determine exactly how things are going to go, or what way the energies and forces or frequencies are inclined to lean on March the 31st, 2013 for you specifically. In other words, you're going to win that day. You're going to lose that day. Astrology is cold stuff. And a lot of people are like, the Bible says don't do it. Well, the Bible's lost. Say it again, sweetie.